I'm Ebony K. Williams, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Ebony. How are you today?
Came back. Huh? You couldn't take us yesterday, so you had to take one day
and
away,
I couldn't
right?
take one more day away. I had to come back immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You missed us.
Yeah, she said, I miss you.
Yeah.
Miss working with you, Shannon.
That's what she said? I don't think she said
Yeah,
that.
she
But
said
if you
that.
want to believe that, you can believe
That's what
whatever
she
you
said.
want to believe.
I said, what about Skip? She's like, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
later.
talk about that later.
Hot mess. All right, guys. Baker Mayfield is going to be live with us in the studio a little later in the show. That is so exciting. But we're going to start off with the Cavs. Now, they have the 8th pick in tonight's draft, and by all accounts, they've got their eyes on Trae Young. ESPN reports that the Cavs hosted Young in a secret workout on Saturday, and they've got him on his short list for the players they'd like to draft in the first round. LeBron James can still opt out next week, but back in February, he was not shy about his thoughts on Young leaving college early. Let's listen.
As a local guy here in Trae Young's going to have to make a decision to go pro or not.
Well, that ain't no decision.
Well,
I'm saying my waking up this morning.
okay.
Brushing my teeth. Ain't no decision. You better go pro.
Well, let me ask you this. So what's he facing then to make that jump? You were from high school. He's playing one of your college. What's the biggest adjustment he'll have to make?
How much money he going to spend monthly, how much he going to save. That's the only adjustment he got to worry about.
All right, that's my kind of adjustment. Shannon Sharp, does Trae Young make it more likely that Cleveland can keep LeBron James?
Hell no. And I'm trying to figure out, Skip, if it was a secret workout, how the hell we know about it? So I guess it wasn't that secret after all, because it got out somehow. Skip, if you remember, let's go back to 2014. You remember UConn, Shabazz Napier? Had that great tournament run. LeBron James said, whoever doesn't take this guy in the first round, we'll be making a huge mistake.
He said that?
The Miami Heat select Shabazz Napier.
They did.
Can you tell the people at home how that worked out for him?
He was coming home.
I'm going home. He went to Cleveland. Drafting Trae Young will have no bearing on whether LeBron James comes or goes. But here's the thing, though, Skip. I think if they were to trade that pick and could package, say, a Kevin Love or someone and get a veteran, a quality veteran, let's say, maybe San Antonio. There's a guy I heard that was disgruntled. Basically told...
Stop dreaming.
Now, hold on, Skip. Let me finish my point. I heard there's a guy that's a superstar in San Antonio that's upset and no longer wants to be there. We would be willing to part with the 8th pick in the draft and an all-star, because you love to mention that Kevin Love is a 5-time all-star. We would be willing to give you that in order for Kawhi in return.
Wait, the Kevin Love you dismiss as a liability? You want my team to take him and the 8th pick in the draft? It's not the 2nd pick or the 3rd. It's the 8th pick.
Yeah.
Really?
He gonna walk and you're gonna get nothing.
So once upon a time, we stole Kawhi Leonard with the 16th overall pick, and now you're saying we should let Cleveland steal him back?
Somebody's about to steal him back from you guys, Skip. But I don't see. Let's go back. When was the last time a rookie made a... Now, Jason Tatum is an outlier. Magic Johnson are outliers. But do we think, had Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving, had they been healthy, would we have seen this Jason Tatum? Because I don't know if he gets the minutes or the opportunities with those two guys in the lineup. So I don't see the impact that Trae Young could have on the Cavaliers. Skip, they're more than a Trae Young needing a Trae Young and to convince LeBron James he needs to stay. Look, I get it. The game now, it used to be we're going to play the game above the rim. Now the game has moved out beyond the arc. And from what I saw in college, he could shoot the 3. Now, he's a little undersized. People say he's going to struggle getting that shot off. But, Skip, it's hard for me to believe that the guy can shoot the ball like that. Plus, he led the league and led the NCAA in assists. We haven't seen that before. That's not normally... We don't normally see that, Skip. If a guy scores this many points, he's not dishing out 8, 9, 10 assists. So I believe he can facilitate. But I don't believe if the Cavaliers were to select him, I don't think that's going to have any bearing on LeBron James' decision. He's like, oh, man, they got Trae Young, bro. I'm in. Hey, Dan, I'm opting in, bro. No, that's not going to happen.
Do you think it would be a plus for him to even think about it as some advantage to have Trae Young as opposed to not have Trae Young?
No, because LeBron says, hold on. You could have traded that 8th pick, and we could have got DeAndre Jordan, which would have gone a long way with us. It definitely probably helped us. Nah, Trae Young, Skip, Trae Young is not going to help LeBron. LeBron says, I'm still in championship mode. I don't see how selecting Trae Young helps LeBron get to his ultimate destination again, which is winning the NBA
Even though you need a point guard, you had to resort at times to Jose Calderon coming off your bench, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's my bottom line to this discussion. I believe even though LeBron James clearly loves Trae Young as a kid because he had Trae Young many years at his basketball camps, so he got to know him. He's a fun kid to be around, and he has one great strength. He has the gift of passing the basketball that LeBron has at the highest levels.
Right.
I keep telling you, LeBron is still the best passer in basketball. Trae Young could be in that category. He could become in the NBA the best little man passer to me since John Stockton. And they're both about the same size because they're both about 6'1"-ish. I'll give Trae Young, they said he measured in shoes 6'1.5" with his sneakers on. So that gives you an extra what? I don't know.
1.5, so he might be 6 foot.
He might be 6 foot. And he is slight, but he can pass the basketball.
Yes.
But I believe if LeBron James actually sat down and watched the film of Trae Young from game to game to game, the way I just watched it on TV, you know, I'm an Oklahoma fan. I probably saw all or parts of 25 of the 32 games Trae Young played this year for the University of Oklahoma, including a first-round exit at the hands of Rhode Island in overtime. They lost to Rhode Island in overtime thanks to 6 turnovers from Trae Young.
He's a heavy assist.
He also led the nation in turnovers as well as averaging points and averaging assists. He led the nation.
So he had a triple-dub, huh?
He had a triple-dub, which reminds me a little bit of that guy from Akron. He's kind of a high turnover guy.
Whatever. Just don't do that.
So, but I believe if LeBron actually sat down and watched the tape from end to end of Trae Young's one-and-done year in college, he would vote no on Trae Young. That's what I believe. If he could choose somebody else, he would go in another direction, even at point guard, than Trae Young. Because Trae Young's one rare strength, passing the basketball, gets canceled by his many deficiencies and inadequacies and ultimately weaknesses. Because I don't love anything else about Trae Young. In fact, I think every other category is bust, 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 bust. Now, can the passing overcome some of that to where he becomes a credible NBA player, a starting point guard?
Well, let me ask you a question. Can he be Ricky Rubio?
That's an interesting question because Ricky Rubio is probably 2 inches taller.
Yes.
And can defend just a little bit. Trae Young doesn't even try to defend. Now, I don't know if that'll change in pro basketball. He has to try because for Lon Kruger, he wouldn't even try.
Right.
He was a complete deficiency on defense. He was a weakness for that team. He just mailed it in on defense.
Right.
And that three-point shot, he shot 36% from three. Again, Lonzo Ball shot 41% in college at UCLA in his 1 year. The three-point shot is a set shot. He doesn't have a jump shot because he can't jump. He is not an explosive athlete. There's no Allen Iverson going on here. There is no Steph Curry going on here because he can't take the pressure off the defending of his three-point shot, which is just his feet on the floor, basically a set shot.
Well, can he be J.J. Redick?
Heck no. Not even close. It's just a pure shooter? No. I mean, J.J. Redick has a pure jump shot, and it's about as pure as it gets.
So you basically said the man going to be a bust.
I'm not saying he's going to be a bust because if you just let him pass the basketball, just as a distributor, he is really special. Now, he's going to try things that are going to create turnovers.
Right.
So does your man LeBron,
exactly.
right?
Yes.
But he has greatness as a passer. But he can't finish. Like John Stockton had strength. He had just natural strength. I don't know if he ever got in the weight room, but he could hold his own.
He got to be able to finish. If John Stockton can average, 12 points a game?
Yep. Hey,
this kid got to be able to do that.
This kid can't jump, and he's so slight that he doesn't finish with any strength at the rim. So once he got deeper and deeper into the Big 12, he started off like House of Fire, obviously, in non-conference. And then you get deeper and deeper. They lost 9 of their last 11 games. And look what happened to his points. He went from averaging 30 points in the first 21 games to over those last 11 to only averaging 22. And his assists dropped from 10 in the first 21 games to over the last 11, all the way down to 7. Guess what happened? He got worn down.
Yeah.
He just got out-physicaled by the Big 12. They just got up into him and just took him out of the game. Well, guess what? He played 32 college games last year. How many are in the NBA? 82 games just in the regular season.
Well, he's going to have to skip. He's going to have to button down the defense because I believe point guard and the small forward position are the deepest positions in the NBA. You get Chris Paul one night. You get Steph Curry, Harden, Westbrook, John Wall, Kyle Lowry, Mike Conley Jr. So you don't get any nights
Hey,
off.
seriously, you think Lonzo had a hard time? Well, watch what's about to happen to this kid.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
So if you don't be on your best behavior, any of those guys can drop 40 on you. You catch them on a good night, and you bull jive, and they'll drop 50 on your head.
That is correct.
So he knows he's going to have to pick that aspect up. Another thing, Skip, that I think, and LeBron has been very, very outspoken against the NCAA. He wants guys as soon as they possibly can. If it was his druthers, they wouldn't even have to go to college. He said because these colleges are making all this money and profiting. So that, I believe that had more to do with it than saying I would like to play with him.
Yep.
Let this man come on and get this money. He's making a lot of money for Oklahoma, getting nothing out of that free education. Forget that. I guarantee you, he made more money for Oklahoma than the education was.
Yep.
So I believe that has a lot to do with it. Skip, it's just hard for me to believe that LeBron James feels that there's a guy, maybe Ayton, maybe he thinks that he's a guy.
He would help. No,
Right.
I agree with that.
But other than that,
yeah.
I don't believe LeBron thinks there's a rookie that can help him get to his ultimate destination. So I don't believe Skip. And even if they trade the pick and get, it's still a long shot because at the end of the day, if you trade the pick, what do you get in return? LeBron's going to have to feel that guy can help him basically now get past the Celtics. If they stand pat, if the Celtics don't do anything, they're going to be favored to come out of the East. If they do absolutely nothing. Now, if somehow they can swing a deal, now I believe it's going to be hard, Skip, for them to swing something for Kawhi. Give up a Jaylen Brown to have Kawhi for 1 year. Because, Skip, this is what we know. If Kawhi tells you that in 2019, I'm going to be playing for the Lakers, you better believe him. Now, you can say, well, we're talking, we get him here, get him in our culture. We'll talk him into
There's
it.
no way Boston's going to trade for him.
Exactly.
Give up Jaylen Brown and one of those picks?
Exactly. So you better believe him. If he tells you, I'm there 1 year and I'm bouncing to L.A., take him at his word. But this pick, Skip, Trae Young, Andrew Young, I don't care, forever Young.
Yeah.
There's not a guy, unless it's Fox at number one, that I feel LeBron say, you know what? Okay, okay, let me think about this, Dan.
So far since college basketball season ended, the best thing Trae Young has done is he has talked a much better game than I believe he can play because he's been talking big, man. He says he's going to lead the NBA in points and assists, or at least that's his goal, right?
Yes.
And it's like he's become his own LeVar Ball, right? Like he doesn't need a LeVar Ball because he's LeVar Ball, right?
I think the chic thing to do now, Skip, I'm the best player in the draft. 30 guys say I'm the best player. Well, what do you expect him to play? Now, come on now. It's hard for me to believe, looking at the way Ayton played at Arizona, the way he can move his feet, the way he can shoot the three, because that's where the game's gone now.
Plus, he's got a grown man's
He
NBA body.
He grown. That young fella is fully grown at 18, 19.
He is.
So
Yep.
it's hard for me to believe at his size that there's a better player. But we never know. We never know how this thing's going to pan out 3-4 years from now. But maybe if Cleveland was had the number one pick, well, then maybe you could trade that. You really I just say if they were top 5, you could really trade. You can move some things because there are 3 or 4 guys up there that they would love to have. You know, Ayton, Bagley Jr., Mo Bamba. Guy got an 8-foot wingspan, Skip.
I know him. I watched him.
He's a defensive. He's probably one of the best defenders and hadn't set foot in the NBA yet because he's gonna be swatting everything. Now, I saw him shooting threes. Dude, 7 foot tall. Now
He can shoot it pretty well.
Yeah, adding the 3 to his game. But this Trae Young, Skip, I don't see how taking a 6 foot. Now, if he was Kyrie Irving, if he had Kyrie Irving's skill set, now LeBron's like, oh yeah, I'm all in on that.
He would be.
But this dude don't have Kyrie Irving.
So if I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers and I truly want a point guard, I'm taking Colin Sexton if he's still there, the Alabama kid, or that Gilgeous Alexander from Kentucky because he's 6'5" and he's got a much higher ceiling to me than Trae Young does. But I must throw out one other player that we got to watch in the national championship game. How about that light-skinned kid, as in white kid? How about that kid?
Billy Hoyle.
Yeah. How about Dante DiVincenzo?
Yeah.
Stock is rising.
Yes.
So if I promise you, if I took Shannon Sharp and you knew nothing about reputations of either of these two kids, and I showed you the tape of Trae Young's loss in the first round to Rhode Island. You watched it start to finish. And then I showed you Dante DiVincenzo win MOP, Most Outstanding Player, in the national championship game for Villanova.
Yeah.
And I said, who would you take in the draft? I'm pretty sure you'd take Dante.
Oh, yeah, double D.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, he's 6'5". He won several high school slam dunk contests, so he can get up.
Yes.
He can get up. And you know what? He passes it. He's not Trae Young, but he passes it pretty well. And he's a 40% three-point shooter who comes off the bench, but he was fearless, man.
And guess what he does better in his sleep than Trae Young? Play defense.
He plays
Did
defense.
you see those the shot? He blocked the dunk with both hands.
With both hands.
He can slide his feet. And so.
And I look at some of the numbers he put up against their arch rival in the Big East, Xavier, a #1 seed in this year's tournament. At Xavier this year, Dante goes for 21, 9, and 9. Those are big-time NBA-bound numbers to me, where I'm saying, and again, will I be surprised if he goes late lottery or at least mid-first round? I will not.
Right.
For most people, he was going to be a second-round pick, and all I read, stock on the rise for Dante. And in the end, I'm going on my gut. I'm going on my eye test. His NBA ceiling, to me, is higher than Trae Young.
Oh, I can agree with that.
You know?
Now, it's being reported that LeBron's camp is more enamored with Colin Sexton than they are Trae Young.
True.
Now,
again, but he's an explosive athlete. He can finish like crazy.
Yes.
Is he raw as a point guard?
Yes.
Can pass like
he kind of,
Trae Young?
you know who he reminds me of, Skip? Fox, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, he does. His game is like that. They look alike.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Little herky-jerky
Yeah, I
all over
agree.
the place.
Yep.
Quick. But at the end of the day, Skip, you're asking a rookie to come in and contribute, play heavy minutes. Because like I said, we thought Jason Tatum was okay, but we never would have known. Because it's hard for me to believe that Jason Tatum would have gotten those minutes if Gordon Hayward was fully healthy. It's hard for me to believe that. It's hard for me to believe that with Kyrie, because they're going to put the ball in Kyrie's hand late in the ball game, Skip, where in this situation, Jason Tatum had the ball.
Yep.
So LeBron's going to always have the ball for the most part late in the ball game, especially with a rookie on the floor. So it's just hard for me to believe that the Cavs can take this young man and that will entice LeBron to stay. I believe that even if they trade the pick, it's still a 95% chance that LeBron's going to bounce because he's looking at it. Can you get someone? Can you get a Kawhi or whomever it may be? We just say Kawhi because he's available. Paul George. Well, Paul George is looking like, hold on. Why would I want to come now when last year you wouldn't commit more than another year? So what makes me think if I come now, all you're going to do is just opt in. You ain't saying nothing about signing no extension. So I get stuck. Here we are again. I get stuck in Cleveland. You bounce. So that's what LeBron is up against, Skip. As he wants security, wants people to do want Dan Gilbert to do the right thing by him, these players that might want to come play along with them want him to do the right thing by them. Say you're going to be here for 2 years. So I know, okay, well, I'll sign a 2-year deal because that way he leave. I'm not staying in Cleveland without him because he's the only reason I'm coming to Cleveland.
That is true. I still say I wouldn't mind seeing him as a Los Angeles Laker, but he would definitely mind it if he was there by himself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I don't think he would want to do that.
No.
LeBron, Lonzo, Ingram, Randall, I don't know. What do you...
Kuzma?
I don't know.
All right, man.
First round playoff exit?
When have LeBron James ever done that? Now, stop.
Let's see.
Now I know a few guys, even in their prime. I know a guy in his prime got bounced in the first round.
In his prime?
In his prime. I ain't calling his name, though.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean the guy who's 6-0 in India?
No, not him. He got swept. He got swept, twice in the first 3 years. I'm talking about a guy in his prime. He wore 2 different numbers. I ain't gonna call his name, but you know the guy. Yeah, in his prime got swept.
Well,
and got lost in the first round.
Yeah. In the Pout game?
I don't know nothing about no game. I don't know which game it was or who they played. I'm just saying I know a guy that was in his prime and lost in the first round.
So you've given up the argument against Michael Jordan, so now you have to turn your sights on Kobe Bryant because that's all you got.
No,
you lost to Michael Jordan, so now you have to argue LeBron versus Kobe.
Skip.
It's okay.
What argument?
No, this is what Ronaldo does.
No, that's what LeBron is doing.
You can't steal that.
Look at there.
Huh?
Look what he got up on his chin.
Yeah. Huh. Well, he's got it under his chin because he doesn't have it up on.
We never
top,
go do that.
right?
Come on now. At least he got a little something. Your guy was.
He
like,
was gone.
Yeah,
he was
by
gone.
year 3 it was over.
No,
He
that's
just
true.
let it go. Say
That is
forget
true.
it.
Yep, he
But
got it.
you see the guy right there, Skip.
I don't see him in those colors anymore, but
Yeah, the wine and gold. I don't know. It might be purple
that
and
might
gold.
be it. Yeah.
Might be red and white or something. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know, Skip. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can travel with O'Brien this time around,
No,
Skip.
I don't think you can.
All right, fellas, we're going to leave that one there for now. Up next, why did the rest of the Charlotte Hornets hate Dwight Howard? We're going to get to the bottom of that, discuss it up next. And don't forget, Baker Mayfield is going to be live right here in this studio a little later in the show. We're back with more Undisputed.
And I won't back down.